you're listening to Bold, Brown and British, a weekly podcast where we discuss what it means to be a brown person in a Western world. We've spoken about colorism, third culture identity and dating amongst many others on this podcast. So if this sounds like the type of content that you want to hear, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcast, iTunes, Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can also message us on Instagram. The handle is @BoldBrownandBritish, or drop us an email via our website at www.boldbrownbritish.com. So without further ado, let's get on with this week's episode. Hello and welcome back to Bold, Brown British, the podcast where we explore what it means to be a brown person in British society. As always, I'm your host, Quarina, and today we're diving into a topic that's been making waves across social media and some news platforms: the impact of South Asian representation in British TV and film. It's 2024, and we've been seeing more South Asian faces on our screens than ever before. From dramas to comedies, reality TVs to documentaries, there's a significant shift happening in the media landscape. But what does this mean for us as a community? How does this representation affect our identity and the way that we are perceived by wider British society? Let's start with positives. Growing up, many of us rarely saw anyone that looked like us on the TV. Now, with actors like Dev Patel, Riz Ahmed and Jamila Jamil becoming household names, there's a sense of pride and validation. Shows like We Are Lady Part and Ackley Bridge not only feature South Asian characters, but also delve into the nuances of our experiences, breaking down stereotypes and showcasing diversity. These representations matter because they provide a broader understanding of our culture and contributions. They help to challenge and dismantle the narrow, often negative portrayals that have dominated for far too long. For young brown Brits, seeing someone who looks like them in a protagonist role can be really empowering. It tells them that they, too, can be the heroes and heroines of their own story. Consider the impact of We Are Lady Parts, a show that centers around Muslim female punk band. It's groundbreaking, and I certainly found it so, not just because it features South Asian women, but because it portrays them in roles that defy conventional stereotypes. The characters are multidimensional, they grapple with identity issues, faith, rebellion in ways that are both relatable and really refreshing. This kind of representation is crucial as it broadens the scope of what it means to be South Asian women in Britain today. But while these advancements are significant, it's essential to recognise the challenges that come with increased visibility. With more representations comes more scrutiny and often more criticism. South Asian actors and creators can find themselves burdened with the expectation of representing an entire community, which is not only unrealistic, but it's really unfair. The South Asian community in Britain is incredibly diverse. It encompasses a really range of cultures and languages, religions and experiences, so no single show or character can really capture this diversity in its entirety. Moreover, there is still the issue of tokenism. It's not enough to simply have South Asian characters on screen. They need to be portrayed in a meaningful and authentic ways. Tokenism can sometimes do more harm than good, perpetuating stereotypes and reducing complex identities to one-dimensional caricatures. We've seen this in the past with characters who exist solely to fulfill diversity quotas. They lack depth and so often substance. So what can you do, or what can we do to ensure that representation of South Asian in British media continues to evolve in a positive direction? Well, one key step is to have more South Asian creators behind the scenes. Writers, directors, producers who understand our stories from the inside and can bring a level of authenticity and nuance that others might miss. It's about having a seat at the table, not just being invited to the party. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to invite you to follow me on Instagram. You can find me at Bold Brown British, where I share updates and behind the scenes content and more discussions about what it means to be a brown person in Britain today. Your support on social media really helps us grow a wider community and to continue these really important conversations. To hit that follow button and join our community. Right, back to our discussion now. While it's essential to have more South Asian representation on and off screen, it's equally important for us to support and celebrate the projects that get it right. When a film or show resonates with us, we need to speak up about it, share it with our networks, and let the industry know that there's a demand for these type of stories. These kinds of grassroots support can really make a significant difference, encouraging producers, creators, networks to invest more in diverse content. Take the example of Never Have I Ever, a Netflix series created by Mindy Kaling. The show has been praised for its authentic portrayal of South Asian teenager navigating the complexities of adolescence, family expectations, and cultural identity. Its success demonstrates that there's a substantial audience for stories that reflect our stories, and it paves the way for more shows like it. However, we must also be critical consumers of media. Representation is a powerful tool, but it's not the end goal. True inclusivity means having nuanced, multifaceted portrayals that reflect the complexity of our lives. We need to hold creators accountable when they fall short and push for continuous improvement in how our stories are told. This brings us to the importance of media literacy within our community. Understanding the broader context of representation and mechanics of how media is produced can empower us to engage more effectively with the content that we consume. By recognizing the narratives that are being presented to us, we can better advocate for the kind of representations that we want to see. Moreover, we must support initiatives that aim to diversify the media industry. Organizations and programs that offer training and opportunities for aspiring South Asian writers, directors, and producers play a really crucial role in shaping the future of British media. By getting involved, whether through mentorship or funding or simply spreading the word, we can contribute to a more inclusive media landscape. And let's not forget the power of storytelling in our own lives. While it's important to see ourselves represented in mainstream media, we also have the power to tell our own stories in our own ways. Whether it's through blogging, podcasting, filmmaking, or even social media, we can create and share content that reflects our own realities and perspectives. These grassroots efforts can really be incredibly impactful, offering alternative narratives and adding richness to the tapestry of British media. It is also worth noting that representation in media doesn't just affect those who are being represented, it also impacts how others perceive us. When diverse and accurate portrayals of South Asians are broadcasted, it helps break down the stereotypes held by those outside of our community. It fosters empathy and understanding, paving the way for a more inclusive society. For instance, documentaries and reality shows that provide an in-depth look at the lives of South Asian families can humanize our experiences for a broader audience. Shows like The Family Law or Made in Heaven offer a window into our homes, showcasing the joys, struggles, and unique cultural practices that define our lives. These portrayals help demystify our culture and highlight our common humanity. Additionally, the growing presence of South Asians in different genres of television and film reflects the reality of contemporary society. It's a testament to the contributions we make in various fields, from science and technology to arts and entertainment. The visibility challenges the outdated notions that South Asians are only suited for certain roles or professions. It's important to acknowledge these trailblazers who have paved the way for today's generation of South Asian talent. Pioneers like Meera Syal, Sanjeev Bhaskar, and Nina Waidia, who starred in groundbreaking shows like Goodness Gracious Me, The Kumars at Number 42, laid the foundations for more diverse storytelling. Their work challenged stereotypes and opened doors for future generation of South Asian actors, writers, and directors. As we look into the future, it's essential to keep pushing the boundaries of representation. This means not only increasing the number of South Asian faces on screen, but also ensuring that our stories are told with depth, nuance, and authenticity. This means not only increasing the number of South Asian faces on screen, but also ensuring that our stories are told with depth, nuance, and authenticity. It means creating spaces where we and our voices can be heard and valued, both in front of and behind the camera. We must also be vigilant about the potential pitfalls of representation. It's easy for well-meaning attempts at diversity to fall into the trap of tokenism or cultural appropriation. And this is why it's really crucial for us as creators to have creative control and ownership over our narratives. When we tell our own stories, we can ensure that they are grounded in our lived experience and cultural context. So, in conclusion, while we've made significant strides in South Asian representation in the media, there's still a long way to go. It's a collective effort that requires the support and participation of our entire community. By championing diverse content, holding the industry accountable, and telling our own stories, we can push for a media landscape that truly reflects the richness and complexity of our lives. That's it for today's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, though. Have you seen a shift in South Asian representation on screen? And what shows or films have resonated really with you? Drop me a message on our social media channels, particularly Instagram. That's @BoldBrown British. And don't forget to follow me on there for more updates and discussions. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, super proud of you, samosas. Until next time, this is me, signing off. Oh, Mikey, you made it till the end. I'm so happy. Well, listen, if you enjoyed what you heard and you want to hear more, subscribe to the podcast on, wherever you are listening to this. We are on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, TuneIn, Alexa, you name it, we're there. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on an episode. We also are on Instagram, which houses loads of behind-the-scenes audio snippets, polls, memes, and ways for you to get involved. So go follow us on Bold, Brown and British. That's the handle. And until next time, keep safe, my wonderful samosas.